Golf Central on YouTube, brought to you by the Chrome Soft Golf Ball from Callaway.
Hello and welcome into this Golf Central special where we take a moment to check in with the CJ Cup currently taking place at the Summit Club in Las Vegas, where Keith Mitchell has put together an impressive couple of rounds. He followed up an opening 62 on Thursday with a 64 on Friday to hold a convincing lead heading into the weekend. He spoke to the media afterwards as he chases down PGA Tour win number 2.
Did you set any, as you start the year, goal-wise, not specific? What do you need to do that you haven't done in the previous 4?
This year I kind of took a hard look at my game. I felt like I've either had the game, the potential, I should say, to play a lot better than I have on a consistent basis. I just wanted to take this year and try to be as consistent as possible, because I felt like feast or famine was kind of my game the last 4 years, and I wanted to be a little bit more consistent, a little bit more patient, a little bit more, play like a tour pro and not just like a young kid out there firing at flags. This is a lot harder to do than I thought, but when your putter's hot like it was the last couple of days, it kind of just makes up for the rest.
When you, how much confidence do you have when you're feasting? And how depressing is that when you're famining?
It's like a roller coaster. And my game is like that, unfortunately. Yeah, seriously. I'm out there. Even today, I think I had a 5-shot lead at one point and missed a green, and it just felt like that again, because I just held myself to such high expectations. Some of them are probably a lot too high, and that when you don't live up to those, you beat yourself up, and it's just. But you look at yourself in the mirror and it's just you. It's everyone else in my team. It takes 15, 20 people to try to get me here. And at the end of the day, they're all trying their hardest to get me to where I am. And I'm trying my hardest, if not too hard sometimes, to try to keep going higher. So, honesty, humility, all of that adds up to a more consistent year, which I really haven't done the last 4.
All right. All good?
No, I'm still thinking about the honesty and humility adds up. Explain that. I'm not sure I understand it. Sorry, John.
It's impossible out here to win or contend every week. It is. And even though we show up every week wanting to contend and wanting to win, it doesn't happen. And it's frustrating sometimes because you want every single week to be your week. And, I was talking to Dr. Rotella not too long ago. He said Justin Thomas was player of the year and missed 7 cuts. I can promise you, when every single cut he missed, he was, pissed.
Suicidal.
Yeah.
Say that, mental health. Sorry.
He was extremely frustrated. And I missed the last 2 cuts, and I stood out in the range, till dark, and then putted till dark on Wednesday because I was not happy with my results. And we're all out here. Everybody out here is like that. You can't be complacent. But the problem is when you overdo that and overcook that, it can work the opposite way.
Overcook the grinding.
Exactly. Yeah, overcook the try-hard effort.
Yeah.
Well, Jordan Spieth can relate to that. He's had only 1 victory in the last 4 years, which was the Texas Open in April. But he made pretty good moves today as well. Second round 65 for him, backing up an opening 66 yesterday. But he, like the others, are all chasing that number that Keith Mitchell is at 18 under par.
Everybody would have signed for 18 through 2 rounds. So, but yeah, I think the hardest part is regrouping and almost feeling like you start fresh to put the gas, put your foot on the gas pedal versus tapping the brakes. It can be easier to kind of maybe back off and hit irons off some of the holes when you were hitting driver the first couple days, and that it actually feels good being at 12 under or 13 under and actually feeling like I'm way behind, because that'll help me keep the foot on the gas pedal. But when you got it going that well, you can't really think that you're going to shoot 36 under, but setting a legitimate goal to kind of keep your head down, forget about the last 2 days and move forward, I think is a key.
Rickie Fowler, another one going well. Plenty of low scores this week. A nice change in form for Rickie, who has been going through a bit of a slump of late. Only 1 top 10 this year came at the PGA Championship at Kiowa Island. Did miss the cut by 1 last week and spent some time with his old coach, Butch Harmon, over the weekend. Let's hear what he had to say with the media after today.
Don't take this the wrong way, but is your priority going to the first tee winning, or your priority going to the first tee continuing your improving process?
Well, I'm deciding if I'm going to take it the right way or the wrong way, since it's coming from you, Steve. But no, we're in a position to go play a good one tomorrow, to have a chance on Sunday. Obviously, Keith has played well, and there's plenty of guys out there that can still end up between, potentially past Keith, but between where I am and 18, where Keith currently is. So yes, the goal right now is to go win. I know I can play well on this golf course. I've proven that the first 2 days, but we're still a ways back, so I need to play a solid round of golf tomorrow to give myself a legitimate chance.
In the recent struggles, was there ever a time you didn't think about winning?
I mean, it crosses your mind. Everyone's gone through ups and downs in golf, and when you're in those low points, it's, there's times where you wonder, like, am I ever going to be, back in that position? Obviously, you believe that you can, but there's those thoughts of, like, golf is obviously one of the most humbling sports there is, and, you can never take it for granted. So being in those positions, you know where you want to be, you can be there, you've been there before, but it seems like a long uphill battle, but it's, like I said, it's definitely been humbling. We've been patient, but nice to see some stuff start paying off.
Bear with me on this, Rick, because Rory said this years ago, and it was fascinating, that when you're playing great, you feel like you'll never play bad again. And when you're playing bad, you almost forget what it was like to feel good. So my question to you is, which distance looks greater, when you're down looking up or when you're up looking down?
I mean, down looking up is probably the bigger one. It's uphill. I think, downhill can happen pretty quickly. But obviously, if you look at anyone's career, everyone's up and down. No one's ever held it steady for, a long period of time. Tiger's probably been the most impressive with it, as far as when he was good and had his little times off. Even I think Jack is probably the one that doesn't get talked about very much. Had his ups and downs. Yeah. So it's there. It's going to happen. It's just, Lucas and I actually talked about it today. It's not so much, how you deal with when you're playing well or bad. It's just, more so just kind of staying who you are and not letting it affect, you as a person. Keep kind of moving forward.
What is different about your swing from, say, 2 years ago?
Right now, I feel like I'm in a position where I told Butch over the weekend when I was hitting balls with him, when I worked with him, it was, I probably wasn't as knowledgeable about my swing, but it was simple, and I understood what we were trying to do, and I knew where we were at, and I understood it. I feel like now I'm in a similar position, but I'm much more knowledgeable about the golf swing in general as well as mine. So that's basically where we are, and there's a lot of progress was made, especially over the kind of 6-7 weeks that I had off prior to coming to Vegas.
Meanwhile, over in Spain, the European Tour are contesting the Andalusia Masters this week. Frenchman Romain Langasque leads after back-to-back rounds of 69, but the low round of the week went to Englishman Laurie Canter today, who surged up the leaderboard with a second round 65. World number one Jon Rahm has missed the cut after following up an opening 78 with a 74, and he will not play the weekend. But we look forward to another wild weekend in Vegas at the Summit Club that overlooks the famed Las Vegas Strip.